SCO presidency now officially has been handed over to India, which means the SCO Summit next year in 2023 will in fact take place here in India. It's officially been given. We've already seen world leaders congratulate India on that presidency. I'm just going to check if my colleague Abhishek is still with us. I believe Abhishek is joining us. Abhishek, this is historic. It's officially being handed over, the SCO presidency, to India. What does this moment mean for India?
So, of course, it's been hardly 5 years since India has become permanent member of SCO, and in this very brief period, India has achieved a lot in terms of diplomatic engagement with the member countries, especially in Central Asia, Russia, China. In fact, also if we could save that Galwan clash and ever the relationship which has gone down south, there was a good rapport between Indian and Chinese leader before that. So in that context, it becomes really important for India to host such a big event, which will have like next year. Iran will also be present as a permanent member of SCO. Then this year we have seen as an observer country and dialogue partners the other countries like even Turkey, which is a NATO ally, is also present in this SCO summit. So SCO is increasingly becoming a platform where all the Eurasian power are finding a voice, a strength. And if we can say it is also being touted as one being counter to NATO and Western Bloc. So in that context, it becomes really important. I remember also India is going to host G20 summit also next year, where all the wealthiest nation in this world, mostly from Europe, Japan, USA, will also be present. So those two meetings will be few weeks apart. Like this year, when the SCO is happening now, and 2 months from now, there will be a G20 summit that will be in Indonesia, Bali. So next year, India will be in a unique position where it will be hosting not only all the Asian major powers with Russia and Turkey also including that, but also the Western powers, all the Europes and USA leaders will be arriving in India to take part in G20 summit. So in a way, India's diplomatic engagement across the globe has proven that while it can protect its own interests at various levels, it does not let a bilateral relationship with one country impact the bilateral relationship of India with another country. And that is the beauty of Indian diplomacy that the world has seen in the recent past, where India has been able to keep a very delicate and fine balance with Russia, Western Bloc, Europe, so much so that India has a very diplomatic ties with North Korea as well. So we can see how India's diplomats have been trying to create an atmosphere of neutrality and strength around the globe as far as India's stature is concerned.
You know, Abhishek, even as the SCO presidency has officially been handed over, I believe we were just getting some visuals coming in of a firm handshake between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Turkish president. Those visuals on our screens as well. Abhishek, quickly, over the last few years, how has India solidified and established its position as a key player with the SCO?
Of course, ever since India has become a member of SCO, Prime Minister Modi has been regularly coming to the event. In fact, before that also, when India was a special invitee or an observer country, Prime Minister made it a point that he attends the SCO summit, because earlier SCO also had Russia and China, and until 2019, when the Galwan clash and everything happened, it was a very strong grouping, and it was said that the era of Asian powers is coming back on the world stage, when Russia, India, and China. They also used to have a grouping RIS under BRICS. So the diplomatic engagement, Prime Minister Modi has tried to increase in his tenure, and the result of that diplomatic engagement is now visibly seen when India is getting presidency of a very prestigious SCO summit that will be held in India next year, 2023, and India has also got the presidency of 2023 G20 summit. So in that way, it becomes really important, because the world is now listening to India's point of view, and they perceive India as not a biased partner to any bloc, but a country which knows its interests, which knows how to balance its interest, and which also believes in just, fair, and rules-based order, who also follows the UN Charter.
Absolutely.
Apart from all the those small times critics who allege India for all the not following certain democratic values and human rights issues, time to time we hear such reports from coming from some media houses. So in that context, it's become really important that the world is now trying to understand that it will
Sure.
not be prudent to criticize
This is
India
a
on
very
surface
different India.
ground,
This is a
but
bold India. This is an India that doesn't bow down to pressure. That really has been the larger messaging that also has been sent out. But Abhishek, I'll request you to stay on with us. I also